Hi guys, welcome to Skylark Music Studios. My name is Lee and today I'm going to show you to play the guitar part from Get Lucky by Daft Punk featuring Pharrell and Nile. Now this is a 16th note funk rhythm part played by Nile in a classic style which he always used to use with the band Chic. And what I'll do is I'm going to show you how to sort of construct the 16th note rhythm in a minute, but firstly give you the chord structure. It's a 4-chord structure all the way through. So once you've got the 4 chords, you won't have to sort of learn any more. You literally just repeat that pattern. The first chord is B minor. Okay, so we're going to go to the 7th fret on the E string, and I'm going to play a bar. Okay, and then I'm going to play the E minor shape as if I were playing down here at the nut. Just literally 7th fret and E minor, and that gives me a B minor chord subsequently. Okay. Now the second chord is a D chord. Now for that chord I'm going to use the A string as my root, and I'm going to go to the 5th fret. That gives me D, okay, and then I'm going to play the A shape as a bar. Now I play this with 1 finger instead of 3, so you would normally have this look, and I'm going to go for this. So my little finger plays the A chord basically, but because I'm fretting at the 5th fret with a bar on the A string, I'm getting a D chord. You hear that? It's the same as this. That's the open chord, and here you've now got the bar chord, okay, for D. That means I can play this funky riff later. I'll explain that in a minute. Now the third chord is F sharp minor, and I'm going to go to the 9th fret now on the A string, and that's F sharp, okay, play the bar, and now use the A minor shape from down here and play that in the 9th fret position, okay. Now that gives me the F sharp minor. Now when I play this, I've seen various videos with Nile playing it, and he seems to play a minor 7th sometimes, which means if I now take off finger 4, that's going to reveal string 3, and it's going to add the 7th, okay? So now I've got F sharp minor 7th, okay? So that was A string, 9th fret, bar chord, A minor shape, take off finger 4. Now interestingly enough, a bit later on you can use that as an extra 7th up here to add some spice to the riff, okay? So the little finger plays on the next fret, 12th fret, and it adds a little bit of extra to it. The last chord is an E chord, it's an E major, and for this chord I'm going to stay on the A string. The A string has been the guide for the last 3 chords basically, and I'm going to go to fret number 7 again and play the bar, and then play that A shape once more, the same as I did for the D, okay, so the A shape is now played here. But again, I play that with my little finger, so where you will play those 3, I'm playing that like this. It's the same thing, it just looks a little bit different. Okay, but I'm playing the same thing. The first finger is on the 7th fret, and that's giving me my root. Okay, so there's my chord. There's E, if I play it down here. There's the full E chord open. And that's the E chord played up on the 7th fret, using the A string as a guide. Okay, so the chords were B minor, D major, F sharp minor 7, and E. So firstly, get yourself familiarised with those chords. Lovely little classic structure, very simple. The way it's played and where it's played is the important part. So we're going to move on to that in just a second. Okay, so now I'll explain the rhythm part to you. Now this is a sort of a funky 16th note pattern, okay? Now to count this, what we're going to do is basically sort of, coming from a sort of drummer's world, count them as a typical 16th note pattern, which would be to go like this. Down and up strokes, 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a. Okay? So what you might notice there is that I'm just resting my fingers on the strings without actually pushing down and fretting the notes. So although I'm in the B minor position here, you only hear this. Okay? You don't hear a chord. This is the chord. You're just hearing this. Okay? So that's damped by my hand. This is why you play this funk stuff up the neck, because down as an open string position, you can't dampen the strings as effectively. So this is a style adopted by Nile Rodgers in the 70s, and it's really, really massively well used in funk, and he does it probably better than anyone. So it's a 16th note pattern, okay? Let's do that again for you. So it's going to go 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and okay? Now, what will happen is, at various points during the count of 16th notes, I'm going to hammer back in and actually fret the chord. But then between times, the fingers come up again. They don't leave the strings, they keep it damped. But that allows you to play this sort of funky thing in the background whilst playing a chord. Almost sounds like two guitarists, very clever. Now, I'll give you the count, or roughly sort of where it is in Get Lucky, Daft Punk, and you can sort of see if you can follow that. So if I count through the 16ths again, and I'll hammer on where the notes should be played. So 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and okay, once again 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and okay. So I'm hammering down on ands and e's and all sorts of numbers. Okay, the thing is, you can sort of get the feel for it anyway if you've played some of this funky stuff before. It is one of the sort of classic funk patterns. But just so you know, yeah, 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and now that's a starting point for this tune. Okay, there are variations. And also the thing that Nile Rodgers does is he plays the bottom of the chord and he plays the top end of the chord. So you get like variations in the tone of the guitar. You don't just get one complete. Yeah, you get sort of a variation. Yeah, you get something like that. Now, as we play through the chord progression, I'll start slowly, and I'll speed up, and you can hear how it starts to sound like the way the song does sound. So we'll start again slowly. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4. You get that? So that's the 4 chords all the way through. Now little variations of that, maybe sometimes doubling a bit, so yeah, you see what I'm doing there? And also that F sharp minor 7, add the extra note in the top there. Just gives it some variation. So if I play now with a little bit of the variations in there, you get an idea of how the part comes to life and stops being so static. Gives you an idea of the pattern, okay? So some variations, just messing around there, really, whatever comes into your head. I'm sure when you recorded it, there was some sort of structure to it, but you know, obviously, you play what you play, and you'll get some idea of of how the funk style at least goes, and then just ad lib it really to make it a little bit. Remember, we are people, we're not machines, so just actually make some variations in there so that you get some sort of interest and not just the same part. We don't want it to sound like you've played the 4 bars, the 4 chords, and then loop the whole thing. You want it to sound a bit more individual, because that's definitely what he's done. He's clearly played it all the way through, and it sounds quite lovely. So that's Daft Punk, featuring Nile Rodgers. More importantly, look him up if you've not seen him before, because he does play the most splendid rhythm guitar. I hope you enjoyed that, and I'll see you again for the next one. Thanks, guys. Bye bye.